everyone, and welcome back to GoLocal Live. I'm GoLocal News Editor Kate Nagel. Thanks for joining us this Friday afternoon for news you can use, and especially from Charlie Kelley, Executive Director of the Rhode Island Student Loan Authority. Charlie, thank you for coming in today.
Kate, thank you for inviting us here today.
I appreciate it. We're gearing up towards the end of April, and as families are looking at college and higher education opportunities for their students, you wanted to be sure to come here and let them know that there is still time to look at the Student Loan Authority.
Well, the first thing people should look at really is filing the financial aid forms. And the biggest one is the free application for federal student aid, commonly known as the FAFSA. And that is really the gateway to higher education. And here in Rhode Island, we've had the College Planning Center for the last 20 years, which has been a free service to help people fill out all those financial aid forms. And we're proud to say that last year, Rhode Island was ranked 8th highest in the country for people filling out those forms. But then we saw a report that showed that even though things are going well here in Rhode Island, that we left $6 million on the table of free financial aid that students could have accessed, which could have made a huge difference in their lives.
Do you think that's just a matter of getting to families, getting to parents, getting to students, letting them know about this resource that's out there?
Yes, it is. So because of that, we felt, well, how do we get to these folks? So we collaborated with the governor's office, higher education officials, and high schools across the state to get the word out. And it's been very successful. Our board approved a outreach effort that included billboards, bus station posters, advertising, radio spots, FAFSA interns in the high schools so that students could kind of help inform each other about why fill out a FAFSA, and it's not that hard. And we even produced a couple of multilingual instructional videos that anybody can access on their phone by just texting the word FAFSA, F-A-F-S-A, to 24,000, and they'll see why they should fill out a FAFSA.
Well, that's pretty accessible, if you ask me.
Yes.
Getting right to the phones, getting right to the people. What's the time frame, Charlie? Again, here, if there's students looking at next year for matriculation, if they're looking for financial aid?
Well, you're right, Kate. It isn't too late, and we're still out there trying to encourage students and their families to fill out the FAFSA form for this coming fall. The FAFSA can show them that they can access up to $6,000 in Pell Grants, work study, institutional aid, and it can really help convince people that higher education and post-secondary training is available and affordable without going into debt.
And you must be at the helm. One of the things that you must like to see most are the success stories of those folks who are, again, able to make higher education possible, whether it's for themselves as a student or for a child.
Oh, it is. That's what we live for, and you see people that have taken on higher education and succeeded. We're a big advocate for internships. We try to match up local employers with those. And in fact, about a dozen people that work for us started as interns and never left.
And anything else, again, now that we're in this kind of final stretch, to let folks know, again, looking at next year, we're here right to the people, telling them how they can text and get more information about that FAFSA form. But if folks are watching and say, well, maybe I do want some help and might not be in that school environment, what can they tap into?
Well, one of the things is obviously first go for all the free financial aid you can, and then borrow responsibly. The Student Loan Authority was founded in 1981, but just earlier this month we did a $63 million bond issue, and it got the lowest fixed rates we have in our 38-year history.
Wow.
So we're going to be offering what we have found to be the lowest education loan in the country.
Wow.
And it's only available to Rhode Islanders and students coming to school here in Rhode Island. So we still encourage students to first look at the federal direct loan called the Stafford loan by us old timers. But they also, if parents need additional help in paying for higher education, which is still one of the best investments you can make, RISLA.com has all the information about how you can get a safe fixed rate education loan.
And you said Rhode Island was up there with a number of folks tapping RISLA 8th highs. I heard that might have gone even up to number 5. We could be fairly up there in the country.
Yes, well, actually, Kate, Just right now, Rhode Island is ranked #1 for the most improved percentage of FAFSAs completed in
Wow.
the country. So it's kind of nice for Rhode Island to be #1 in something once in a while. And overall percentage completion, we jumped from 8th place last year to 5th place this year, and we're only 1% behind Massachusetts. So we're very excited about that, but we still want to keep pushing, and particularly the first generation and low-income students. We have to make them aware that these free financial resources are out there. They do not have to go into debt to get the education they need.
Now, I know we just did pass April 15th, but I'm sure this is the busy season for you right now.
Yes, it's just starting.
As you are, again, trying to get the word out there for families. Again, do we know that deadline for FAFSA if they're looking at, again, the 19-20 school year?
Well, there really isn't a deadline per se, but many of the private schools and even some of the state schools, the earlier you apply, the better chance of you have of obtaining some of the limited amount of funds available in terms of free financial aid. So we encourage everybody to apply as early as possible. Don't delay. It's all free. Besides texting FAST for the 24,000, just go to RISLA.com and you can book a free appointment at our College Planning Center.
And one of the things that RISLA has as a resource as well online, again, college financing is just one portion of a young person's entree into the real world. There is an adulting guide that looks at holistically as young people look to move forward with their lives. I mean, that's an important resource to have as well.
It is, and part of our success has been also promoting financial literacy, being responsible, budgeting, all those boring things, but that's what keeps you out of trouble, keeps people from over borrowing. And we think that's been part of the reason why we have such a low default rate among our borrowers here in Rhode Island.
Looking at it from a holistic perspective as well. And again, tell us that text if folks are watching now and want more information.
They can text FAFSA, F-A-F-S-A, to 24,000, and they'll get back a link to 2 different videos, one in English and Spanish, and it'll walk them through the financial aid application process. And if they do need additional financing help, they can text the word college to 24,000 and see if they qualify for some of our loans right on their phone.
Okay, very accessible, getting to the people right where they are, like maybe you watching us right live on GoLocal right now. But Shirley Kelley with the Rhode Island Student Loan Authority, I do appreciate your taking the time to come in here on a Friday afternoon.
We thank you.
And bring it right to folks. Of course, we'll provide links as well if you want to come back after, get more information. But again, if you've got a smartphone, and most folks do, you can text and get that ball rolling. So we're going to be right back with our next guest here on GoLocal Live. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.